Hello, welcome to my Flosstube. This is Sarah. My pronouns are she, her. I'm also known as Old Timey Birdcage here on YouTube. And also, you can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky under Old Timey Birdcage. I'm trying to get away from Instagram, but still seems kind of necessary. I'm trying to get more into Blue Sky. But you can find me there, and I've got a short update for you. I wasn't really in the mood to iron everything or get everything out of their hoops, so unfortunately they're gonna be tied up. I do have a start and finish, a SAF, for everybody, if they want to take a look at that, and I do have some updates about my gardening, so if people want to hear about that, I can do that too. So to start off with, here is the start and finish. So it's not quite fully finished, but this is kind of the idea of how I want to finish it. So this is Metamorphosis by Bad Stitch, I think. Sorry, and so this was part of Trans Day of Visibility. They had a sale for the pattern, or a lot of patterns to celebrate trans visibility. So this is Metamorphosis. So this was with the older ones. I forget what year this came out, but this isn't this year's pattern. So I got this off of Bad Stitch on Blue Sky, and the money went to the Trans Help Hotline, I believe. For the charity event. I think you can still get the pattern. It's just they're not running the charity connection right now. But I started this on, let's see, it was Friday. No, it was, yeah, it would have been Monday the 31st, I think, was Trans Visibility Day. So I started it then and just powered through to get it done. So I didn't touch it by other cross stitch items really this week, but yeah, I wanted to get that started and finished. So my partner is non-binary trans, so I really wanted to get that done, get that up on the wall, so I think that would look good. Back here somewhere, I just need to lace that up in the back. I got the, so this is the called for DMC. This just black Aida from craft store that I got a long time ago that I had in my stash. And I got the hoop here from Michael's, just as the decoration, or the way to hang it. I just use a normal hoop to stitch with. But that was my start and finish. So that was a fun little pattern. Again, it's like just 3 colors of DMC, and it was really fun. I made a few counting errors, but nothing I couldn't fudge with or fix later. So next I can show you what I have for my Irish Blessing. And again, this is the one by Tiny Modernist. And again, I apologize for not ironing anything. It makes it hard to see. But here is what I have so far. So I got a lot more of the greenery around. I'm kind of working my way around in a circle in the middle, so I'm working my way up on this side, and then just again doing the back stitching last. So this is Tiny Modernist, an Irish Blessing, and the DMC called for Evenweave, what it was called for on 1, 2, 3 stitch. I just made a full order with putting everything in the cart. So I like it so far. I must have made a counting error somewhere because it's off by like 2 rows or something, but since it's kind of open greenery, I can just kind of fudge it and move things around when I need to. But again, like I like the colors, they're coming out really pretty and it is looking really nice. I like the Evenweave. It is a bit of more of a challenge than Aida, so. And this is my first time using something other than Aida. So this is the first project I've done on like an Evenweave. So it is like a learning curve, but you know, once I got used to counting over the 2 spaces so that I can, again, and this is 2/2 on the Evenweave. So, and it's, I think it's a 28 count. But it is coming out good so far. I really like it. Let me see. Yeah, I haven't touched it that much this week, but I did get some in last week. I am trying to work without too many notes because I didn't want to force myself to be concerned with being perfect every time. So I'm just kind of going forward with what I have. But here is my update on my kit. So this is the Dimensions kit that I am working on. This is Magic in Motion. It's a vintage 90s Dimensions kit that I got on eBay. I'm filling a lot more in of the Wizard's robe. So this is where I am so far. Again, I apologize for the hoop marks and for it being wrinkly. But the colors are coming in really nice. I have made some counting errors somewhere, so there are some rows where it's off by like 2 rows. But I am trying to fix that as I go with fudging it. I am worried a little bit about thread conservation because it is a kit, so it came with all the thread. It looks like I have plenty of most colors. It's just some colors were very limited, so I might just have to be careful or break into another batch of colors. I did try to look up where you can like get these converted and get them in stores. I also, because of a mistake through eBay, I have a second kit without a pattern. So I do have more thread and more fabric. So if something were to happen, I could restart it. I just want to try to save that so I can pass that on to someone else in case they want to do the pattern. But that's what I have done on that so far. I've been mostly in garden mode this week. So I planted some seedlings last week and I'm trying to come up with garden plans. Like here's a rough sketch of what I want to do in the garden. I already have this raised bed and we have kind of like a in-ground situation here. A compost bin. It's one of those spinning drum types. So I want to grow broom corn so I can try to make my own brooms. I'm trying to decide what side to put sunflowers on, if east or west is better. But I also want to try growing cucumbers and strawberries and maybe some mint or something in containers. And maybe get another garden bed for tomatoes and other plants. I don't know. I'm trying to think about expanding, but it's also tough with the possible tariffs coming in again, and things change by the day, so I don't even know. So we'll see. And also just trying to make up our food production. So I've started, I've got potatoes on the windowsill to let them grow their eyes. I got seed potatoes. They're Russian banana, I think is the variety. I got a bag of seed potatoes from Menards. So we'll see how those go. They do have little eyes. I also have tomato seedlings on the window. I don't have like grow lights or anything set up, so it's just like sitting them out in the sun. So in a south facing window. So we'll see how those go. I have one little seedling popping up. I don't want to disturb it right now, but I'll see if I can figure out how to insert a photo. If I can't, and I'll be posting that on Instagram and Blue Sky if you want to take a look over there at some of the plants I have going. Also thinking about if I want to maybe start doing garden videos, if I can do that once we get into like past the frost dates, so we can start planting, because I really do want to get more things done in the garden, and I am excited to do that once like the end of April, early May starts. Okay. And this mug I wanted to show. So this is a mug I've had since 1999. So now it's like back in style basically. So it's a Libra mug. It's got all this information on the back about Libra and your element and everything like that. So, you know, if you keep things long enough, they eventually come back in style. I also finished the book I had showed you, so I have a few books to talk about. So this is the Murder Among the Pyramids. It's the book one in the Lady Traveler in Egypt series. So this was a fun read. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, genius, groundbreaking literature, but it's like a fun murder mystery. I do like that the main character has like kind of a more interesting backstory. Like she's just not a wealthy socialite. She has, you know, an interesting backstory. She's as like a professional ladies companion, lecturer, photographer. So she has insight into things like photography, which does come up in the novel. So that was fun. The ending just seems kind of, it wraps up who the murderer is and everything, but then it just kind of seems like, okay, and on to the next adventure. So I'm looking forward to looking into the second book in that series and see where it goes from there, because that was fun. I also finished a couple other books. I finished 2 non-fiction books. One is called Killing the Black Body. So that is about reproductive rights, how they relate to Black women in history. It is like a 30-year-old book, but I think it is like a good read to get an idea of like the history and how we should be thinking of reproductive health, not just as access to abortion, but as access to like prenatal care and like the kind of birth control that people want to have. I also finished reading The Five, which is a book about the 5 canonical victims of Jack the Ripper. So it really doesn't talk about the murders themselves or the investigation or anything. It's more about like who these women were, why we kind of still believe the myth that they were sex workers when they were not really all assuredly sex workers. Like some of them did engage in sex work, but some of them did not. A lot of them were unhoused and sleeping on the street, and that's why they were attacked, and not because they were engaging in sex work. But we still have this vision of, you know, a sex worker walking along the street and then she gets grabbed by Jack the Ripper. So it's like it's like an investigation in why we portray victims in a certain way, and how true crime industry and like the true crime tourism industry has kind of distilled these women down to like a stereotype in order to make money off them, basically. But they had much more complex lives than we tend to think of. So I think that is it for me this week. I think I heard my spouse come home. So I'm gonna head out. Sorry, this is a short video. I just wanted to get something up this week. I've, again, just been kind of focused on the one project, and I have been knitting on my sweater. It's still in like the sleeve stages. So if you look back at past episodes, it's still about where it was. So I'm just working through Sleeve Island right now, but I am excited to get that finished. The sweater I'm wearing is actually a sweater I've knit. So this is the Outline Tee by Jessie Maed Designs. I want to make another one. This one is out of linen quill by Purl SoHo in, I think the color is cast iron, but whatever the black one is with the linen quill. So that's what the little specks are. They're linen. So I want to make more summery garments, and I like the Outline Tee. The hardest part is casting on because it is a bottom up. So I have to cast on a lot of stitches and then knit for quite some time before we get into like the V-neck and things like that. Okay, well, thank you for visiting with me. Again, like, take care of your health, your mental health, and your physical health. You know, do crafts, make things, go into the garden, go into nature, go to the park, whatever helps you. But thank you for stopping by. Have a good day.